Hello and welcome to my next Mobile Lunch video. We are at the third boss fight here, the third sentinel. It's the Starbreaker and we are going to beat him. I'm still testing like the best combo for it. With Hephaistos as my fifth guy here, I was able to get to stage or to round 300 last fight, but I'm testing out different heroes here since I now can attack him one more time for crystals, or even more times. After you finished or killed him 3 times, you are able to skip some more attacks up to 14 and still get rewards, but you won't get like the rewards for the guild as far as I know. And so we are going in here, still testing some heroes. I guess it will take some time until you figure out what really works the best. But with this kind of team, I am still able to like get pretty far, I would say. Let's see how things are with Isolde now. And this boss right here, he's also resistance to stun and bound. He has 40% damage resistance and debuff effects are completely voided. But each debuff reduces resistance by 5%. Also his AP damage is reflected back onto the attacker. And so that basically means that he got an immunity to all the debuffs, but the debuffs still count as damage reduction, I would say, or I would put it that way. So you want to stack as many debuffs on him as possible. They won't have the effect of the debuff, but you will deal damage to him. If you have 0 debuffs on him, you basically can't kill him because he will be way too tanky. So far so good. I think this boss is pretty simple. It's like the less complicated from all of 3, I would say, because on the first one you need to swap between elements, have the right elements and so on. Like this one is just, you want debuffs, as much debuffs as possible to deal damage to him. If you don't have debuffs, then you just go in and try to survive and deal damage anyway. So I would say this one is pretty easy from, if you look at it, how complicated they are. I think the second one is the most complicated one, since you have to really play manually and you can't play auto play, and you need single target. And for the first one you need to like, you still can play autoplay, but if you have like the wrong elements attacking at the wrong time, you will deal 0 damage to him. So my first team here is just my damage team. Usually I got a little bit further than this, but this fight didn't went too well. So I'm at nearly phase 20 finished. Now I want to get some stacks on my mate team here. And also Isolde is good for getting debuffs on him. So with a lot of debuffs, I will deal a lot of damage to him. Also, Horseman again is really nice versus him, because he can just decrease his ultimate cooldown, which is pretty good, I would say. And also he can heal himself a little bit. But you see, he deals an insane amount of damage. That's why you again need like 2 healers, I would say. If you have Arachnatur or something like that, you will be fine. But you will see on the later phases that he deals so much damage. It's insane. Like his first attack is dealing quite much some damage, but he got his little passive, or his debuff, his what is it called? Echo. This debuff detonates for 80% attack damage if its duration runs out. So this one is just like, it's pretty tough to heal against that. The problem is debuffs won't work, so you can't deal attack down on him. You can deal attack down, but it will have no effect on him. So you basically have to like tank all the damage, and this makes the thing really hard. But you will see that in like 2 or 3 phases when he really hits like a truck. But also, as I said earlier, I'm still testing out different heroes. So Isolde is like, it's like the first time with Isolde. Hephaestus I tried him, he worked out quite nice. The problem with Hephaestus is that his ultimate cooldown is like 6 rounds or something like that. It really takes so much time. Also, he can bound on you, which can be quite annoying when you have like Mutzen or Joanne and he just deactivates your passive and you would deal way less damage. Also, you can use have like death down and all the debuffs on you, and you might just get one-shotted later on. So this is his ultimate. It's just an AoE with a lot of debuffs. So you could also think about playing with immunity. But I don't think that ultimate is even the problem later on. It's like this little detonate thing here, which you just saw. Basically, I should have had like full HP after that healing, but I took so much damage from it and it only gets worse after time. So now we are at phase 23. We cleared 23 and now we are at 24. I got to stage 28, so I cleared 27 stages. I think it's a little bit annoying to always like overthink what stage you're actually on. But yeah. Also, it's like not that important what spells you use. I like to stack up or try to get his ultimate as high as possible, his cooldown with my horseman. That's why I prefer to use the first spell over the ultimate on the horseman. But you see his damage getting quite high right now. So that's also why I use Rudolf in here, because of his defense up. Right now I want some crit resistance, and Sleipnir might be good also on this boss fight, because you see I get a lot of debuffs on me. That's why I think Sleipnir might be quite good. I will definitely test him out, but you just saw how little damage Isolde actually did there. I mean, he gets quite tanky. So this is like my main team with a lot of debuffs, and that's why I deal some damage to him. But you will see when I maybe switch to like my next team, because this one dies at some point, you will see how little damage I deal with like an insane amount of damage dealers. And also his damage is so sick already right now. Like, it's getting really crazy later on. I mean, I'm already on turn 200 here, so I'm pretty far in. I think with this team comp I might be able to hit the round limit, but we'll find out later on. So right now I'm already discarding because she doesn't deal any damage anyway. So I get a nice shield there, but it's getting so close at some point. Right now I'm trying to survive somehow. Ultimate, now I need to discard one more time, so I need to survive, but I knew he would summon his little ad there, so I'm fine. And now I should be able to like discard everything and I'm back to full life. That is really nice. And it's getting really tough. You just see how things are. And also you might notice that I deal like 0 damage to him at some point. So this fight is I would say it's really friendly for like weaker players as well, if you are pretty low, because you can easily get to some stages without healing, and he only gets really annoying at this higher tiers, I would say, because of the scaling with all his damage reduction and so on. But yeah, you just see how much you need all the healing that I have here. I have so much healing and I still struggle really hard to keep it up here. And luckily for me, he doesn't really use his ultimate that often because of the horseman. I got really lucky with him in my team. He's so useful, and now I need to heal again. The detonation and so on, it's like really insane. But also with this team comp, I'm not able to like beat my old record. I won't be able to get to stage 28 because I deal too little damage here with the Solde. I mean, I survive everything, seems like, but I just lack of damage. So I might switch it back to another damage dealer if I go for the record next week again. But for now, still looks decent here. But yeah, even with all the healings here, I'm still nearly dead, and you see I deal like 0 damage anymore. Like it's really insane how much his damage reduction really, like, it's such a big thing. And also his like little ads deal so much damage, and you see the amount of debuffs I actually have here on my heroes. It's like insane. Like if you look at my Mutzen here, it's like she got so many debuffs, and now he will use his ultimate, and you just see his damage. It's insane. So with Isolde, it seems like I can survive to 300 rounds pretty comfortably, but I'm not able to beat my old record at any chance. I'm way off of beating it. So you might try this one with maybe 2 healers, if you have 2 healers instead of 3, and you should be fine. But I wanted to test out with Isolde, and yeah, it looks okay, but you just lack of damage. And I don't think you will be able to like get to like 28, 29 on this fight, because he just scales way too high. Like this one should be way easier to get to higher stages, because he's not scaling that good. This one is like also pretty tough. I mean, it's really hard to beat him. You still see that everyone struggles against this, but I guess in like a few weeks the ranking will be way higher, and this is like pretty comfortably in boss. Like you can see 21 right here on top 50, and this is 22, so the first one might even be easier than the second one, but I think the third one, but I think this one will be the favorite for everyone to farm later on. So let me know in the comments what you think. What is your favorite boss fight? If you still need any tips on how to beat them, or if you think I missed something, also let me know it in the comments. And that's it. That's all 3 elementals here, sentinels, and I hope this helped you a little bit, and I will see you in my next video.